Funny thing is this, is that what we don't realize is that the world is watching our response. Well, he was delivered or whatever he was, whatever. No, here we go. Our response is very, very delicate in the eyesight of God. Let's be clear, I don't condone homosexuality. In the Bible, it talks about it clearly. I don't condone any sin. I don't think we should condone any sin at all. All have sinned, though, and fallen short of the glory of God. That's it now. Here we go. We should make sure we're careful in our response to how we handle situations. Sometimes it's best for us to stay quiet. Because we don't know in life, our response could fuel something in a situation. Okay, I'm going to prove to you something. How many of you ever in your job wanted to go off on your boss and you did? Raise your hand. You wanted to go off. Someone said today. I said today. But watch it now. Watching your response, what? Decreases the blow. Okay, good. Learn, number 4, learn to accept what you can't change. Someone said, learn to accept what you can't change. You are wasting precious energy trying to change things for people that refuse to change. If someone is trifling, if somebody is nasty, they're nasty. If somebody likes drama, they'll always like drama. And here's where I believe that God really, really mourns on our behalf. As a pastor, I deal with personalities all day. Y'all pray for me, because sometimes, it's rough. And I'm learning now, really, to some people in certain situations that can't change, I'd rather just keep it short, love them, and keep it moving. Because sometimes you're trying to change people who are happy the way they are. No. They are happy being dumb. They are happy being ignorant. They are so content with being ignorant. You better not try to change me. I want to be crazy. And here you are doing everything in your power to try to change something that doesn't want to be changed. And then you are, stretch yourself out, lose sleep. That is so crazy. Next slide. Really, let's read. Disobedience, I really want to do a series on this, to be honest with you. Because, to be clear, everybody from the pulpit to the parking lot wrestles with disobedience. Disobedience is that small inner supernatural voice that tells you no, but you say yes anyway. When you know exactly what you should not do, or do it anyway. Now you're frustrated, now you're miserable, but it's not God's fault. I've now been disobedient. Truth of the matter is, right now, sitting in the sanctuary right now, many of us right now have some areas in our lives right now we know we've been disobedient in. And if I would just listen to God, if I just would have been obedient to Him, things would not be as stressful as they are right now. But because in this flesh dwells no good thing, I'm constantly pulled Paul says, there's a war in my flesh that's constantly raging against me. So sometimes I'm constantly being pulled by what my flesh wants to do, and now I'm caught in the Ferris wheel of disobedience, riding in a circle, never getting off the ride. Somebody say disobedience. What price are you willing to pay for disobedience? To what extent are you really willing to be punished because of our disobedience? Y'all real quiet. I love it. Next slide. Matthew 6:33. I'm gonna let you go. But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Okay. Somebody say, seek first. Seek first. Watch me now. I think seeking here talks specifically about with intense perseverance going after to direct all my attention and focus on a specific kingdom goal. Okay? So I say seek first. In every area of my life, I've got to console God first. Okay? In every area. In my job, in my relationships, in my finances, even in my health. God, I had a member of my church, I love her dearly. She moved, and she'll tell you that maybe she should have consulted a different doctor. She would have had a surgery to what they call, not gastric bypass. I think it's gastric bypass. But she went to the wrong doctor, and a doctor messed up her insides. Well, they had to go back in a few times to try to correct the problem. If she would have only sought God about who to go to first, maybe she wouldn't be sick now. If many of us would have just sought God first, we wouldn't be in the financial jam that many of us are in right now. If we would just sought God first, then maybe I wouldn't be in a situation in my relationships. Somebody say, seek first. The kingdom of God and his righteousness. Here, righteousness means to direct my attention on the right things God demands of me. Okay? So his righteousness means God's way. Somebody say God's way. God's way. See, sometimes we fall short because we want to do it our way and not God's way. That's right. His righteousness, his right way of doing things is where I should be trying to lead myself. If I'm doing it his way, there is no stress. You understand? If I'm doing it his way, it's guaranteed to be no stress. The problem is, we do it our way and do want to include God into the back end. All these things will be added. Here in this verse, added means to put on extra to what you already have. Blew me away. I'll tell you what blew me away. Because sometimes we're saying all these things should be added to me as if God's going to give me new stuff. But what the text really is talking about is that sometimes when I'm really submit myself to God and give him all of my attention and seek him first, he allows me to keep my stuff. He adds on to what I already have. Okay, you didn't understand. It's almost like putting too much in a cup and it's overflowing. And really, that's what God desires for our lives. He wants me to obey him in such a way that he doesn't take away my stuff and I get all new stuff. He gives me the grace and mercy to keep what I have and add more stuff on to me that I can't even maintain the whole. I wonder if the majority of our stress, I'm finished, is because I'm not seeking God first. my everything. He's supposed to be my core. He's supposed to be my and if I'm doing it God's way, I have no worries. I have no stress. The problem is we don't do it God's way. We do our way. And God is standing there waiting for us to say, are you going to give me a try now? Hello, help me over here. I'm God. I love you when people walk away from you. I'm God. I love you when no one's there for you. I'm God. I'm going to be the one that's going to be there when everything crumbles right before your very eyes. And He is saying, when are you going to try me?